After being interviewed by Nurse O, the patients are given their clinic card by my assistant, Mr. Chung. Dental patients are referred to the Christian dental students from Seoul National University, who are examining teeth outside the tent. The medical patients move into the poorly lit tent where the Christian medical students, also from Seoul National University, regularly donate their time. Under my supervision, together we are able to help these people who without our services in numberless instances would go on to die. As we wait in the tent, diseases of various kinds present themselves. Very common are diarrhea, where infants suffer from severe dehydration. Tuberculous meningitis, skin disease, pneumonia, tuberculosis of the glands of the neck, lack of mother's milk in the newborn. In these cases, we provide our powdered milk. Skin infections, heart disease, and burns, a frequent result of crowded living and open-fire cooking. Records on each patient are carefully kept, and the nurse dispenses the medicines, making certain that each patient properly understands the instructions. The ones with severe disease, such as this little girl with massive tuberculosis of the chest, too weak to smile, are instructed to enter Chungbu City Hospital, where I am on the staff. Here their treatment is subsidized by our mission. The same little girl has reason to smile 6 weeks later in the hospital, however, since according to the chest x-ray, her lung tuberculosis has undergone marked resolution. Here is another child with far advanced tuberculosis. This disease is a scourge of Korea and is the most common cause of hospital admission among our clinic patients. 15% of all Korean children under 6 years of age already have the disease. Through immunization, we are attempting to reduce this percentage. Now that there are drugs for tuberculosis, these patients can receive a new lease on life, as we see in this same child, now nearly recovered and able to enjoy the scrapbooks sent by Christian friends in the States. Some of the children brought to the hospital are so sick that they are unable to eat themselves and thus must be fed milk through a tube which passes into their stomach. This particular child has tuberculosis of the lungs and brain. She died 2 days after this picture was taken. Abandoned babies, of which there are hundreds, are often found in extremely malnourished condition. Because of severe starvation, there has been a breakdown in this infant's muscles, so that the skin now hangs in loose folds, over the bone. Other children have a swollen appearance due to a lack of protein. In a period of 3 months, over 500 patients with diphtheria were admitted, and through a donation of antitoxin from the states, many lives were spared. Numerous adults also are admitted and treated. In 1966, 474 patients from our clinic areas were admitted with the average cost per patient only $37. We are concerned not only with the physical recovery of the patients whom we treat, but we are also very much interested in their spiritual health. Here our hospital aide, Pak Young-suk, reads from the Gospel of John to a young girl with a bone infection of her leg. Miss Pak, a former suicide patient herself, has a sparkling testimony of the love of Jesus Christ and is a real source of blessing to our hospital patients. Each month we leave the mainland to give medical assistance to the island dwellers, who because of their isolation, for the most part live and die without the benefit of medical treatment. To reach the islands, people and supplies are all boarded on a small boat, which takes us to the large ferry. On the ferry, we are met by our paramedical worker, Mr. No Yun Tae. Landing on one of the islands, we are greeted by the curious faces of the island youngsters and village elder. Island life is interesting. Men weaving rice straw for their new roofs. Others creosoting their fishing lines, and women bringing in oysters for transport to the port of Incheon. If the market is good, they will have made the phenomenal wage of 6 cents an hour for their back-breaking work. From this island, Mr. No takes us by sailboat to his home and clinic on the island of Chungbon. Being a former captain of an ocean liner, he is acquainted with the seas and deftly sails the boat through the 20-foot tides which exist in this area. Were it not for this boat, a donation of Christian friends in the States, we would be unable to reach many of these isolated island people with medicines and the gospel. Supplies are unloaded and brought to Mr. No's home, where we will see the patients during our stay. Even though Mr. No is only a paramedical worker whom we have trained, he is regarded as a doctor by the island people, who have utmost confidence in his treatment. Since he lives on the islands and sails from one small